What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we're doing a short and sweet video. We're just going to be talking about the Lions defense. We're going to be breaking it down, showing you where I think some players can fit in by position. And also, I think there's a lot of things we can do off of this, but this video alone, there's probably not going to be a lot to it. But if you guys do have anything that you want to see off of this video, make sure you let me know in the comments below, and we will get into that. But right now, let's talk about the Lions defense. Let's get it started. I should not have done that. I don't know why was that my decision? Why did I decide to throw a pen? Okay, let's not do that again. Bad decision. Bad decision. Okay, we're talking about the Lions defense here, all right? Now, I was watching the games, to figure out exactly what formations they ran. The Lions are deep in defense, and I'm excited for 2020 for a reason. And I think some people don't realize why I'm so hyped, because I feel like the Lions defense is looking really nice on paper. Now, that has to play out on the field. And now I also want to clear up the whole thing of the Lions, do they run a 4-3 or 3-4? They run a multiple D. They play a lot of different things, all right? Sometimes they have 4 down linemen, sometimes they have 3, sometimes they have 2. They do a lot of different things, okay? And not only do they do multiple things, but they can fit in a lot of prospects. A lot of people were like, I don't know how Chase Young's going to fit here. He's going to fit here because we go with what we have. Matt Patricia is really, really good at seeing what talent he has and utilizing that talent, all right? So utilizes the talent he has and kind of adjusts his defense for it and based on the situation. Chase Young would have fit in fine, because we do a whole bunch of different things, but obviously you don't have Chase Young. So let's talk about this Lions defense a little bit. I was going to show you some clips, but I don't exactly have them saved. This is literally the Lions base defense. This is not the Lions base defense. This is PFF's base defense of every team, and they just put in players by their PFF grade. So I just wanted to kind of show you guys this, and this is also how I show you guys the players that we have. Just kind of wanted to show you this just so you can get a quick little look, but the Lions usually don't run just a simple 4-3. However, they mix in things like that. But anyways, let's talk about this Lions defense. So the first thing we have here is one defense is very common amongst the Lions, and again, they're very common to run the nickel. A nickel formation is very normal for the Detroit Lions. That's where they run like the highest percent of their snaps from. So I think that's what it was. So boom, here's the first one they have. We have 3 down line, we got 2 edge rushers, we got 2 interior linebackers, we got 2 safeties, and we got 2 cornerbacks, right? Looking good. Now I can't actually put this over here. I don't know why. Like I can do this. That's all I can do. That doesn't help me, okay? That's literally all I can do. So we kind of just got to look at this, and I'm going to tell you guys where players would fit where. Now, this is something that's interesting, and I think, yeah, this is like an example of it almost. If you can see, Jelani Tavai is actually up here as like a linebacker, and I can't remember that. I think that's Devon Kennard over here. Now, this is something the Lions do a lot. They would have snacks in here, Sometimes Flowers, usually snacks, like an interior defense lineman. Ashawn would play a little bit outside here, and then you would see, Flowers. Trey Flowers will play on the outside. But right now, obviously, when you sub in guys, you have different players. So Austin Bryant, I think that's Ashawn. I think that's John Atkins. I can't really tell. But the Lions have a lot of depth at that defensive line position. Now, edge rusher, a little bit. Defensive line, a lot. And that's why we're talking about possibly moving or trying to move Jared Davis to the edge. But like they said, they're not going to bring him back. So yeah, I kind of get it now. Now let's look at this roster really quickly. Let's kind of look at how many interior defensive linemen they actually do have, because it's deep. Here we go. Interior defenders. Yeah, it's deep. All right. There's a lot of players in here now. Obviously, not all these guys are going to be on the team, but you can tell there's a lot of talent here. Danny Shelton, who I think is the next snacks. John Pennicini, who we talked about today. We have John Atkins. There's Jonathan Wynn. John Atkins on the field a few times. You see Deshaun Hand, who when he's healthy, he's nice, but he needs to be healthy. Kevin Strong. Trey Flowers, who's more, as a defensive end, but they're just listing him as interior. Romeo Okwara, Nick Williams, Jayshon Cornell, another rookie. Very deep there. And when you look at the edge rusher position, I gotta do that. I don't know why. Edge rusher, not as deep according to this. Hold up. Actually, let me do this real quick. Let me just do this real quick, because this is how I like to look at it better when you put them together. So by their standards, edge rusher would be Julian Okwara, right? Because I think he's the next Devon Kennard. Austin Bryant's kind of an edge, right? He can play line, can stand up as well. He did both in college. They're always drafting versatile players, right? That's how the Lions do it. Christian Jones, we know about Christian as well. Reggie Ragland, who we brought in from the Chiefs. But then you look at some linebackers. I mean, Jamie Collins could play on the edge role, right? Jared Davis, maybe. We'll see. Jelani Tavai, who we just saw a screenshot, can do the same thing. So we got a lot of versatile players that can do a lot of different things, and that's kind of how the Lions go about it. Now, why am I excited? Why do I have a lot of confidence? And I've said this once, I'll say it again. I'm excited because of this interior defensive line position. We have Snacks Harrison, right? Let me make this big. We had Snacks Harrison when he was balling. Our defense was a lot better. He would run this position, right? He's always in the interior, and then you have everybody else looks a lot better because a lot of the focus went towards the interior and to open up those edge rushers. And when he wasn't balling out, it didn't open up those edge rushers last season. That was a big problem. Well, now guys here will be guys like Danny Shelton. Maybe Nick Williams could play there, but he could also play this A'Shawn Robinson role, which I would not be shocked if he did. But Danny Shelton's cameraman guy. John Pennicini can slide in there. I think Nick Williams can play out here a lot more with things. Still, we have Trey Flowers. We have Austin Bryant. We have Romeo Okwara. We are very, very deep when it comes to defensive line. Now you're talking about these positions. Now this is Devon Kennard, right? He's gone. Who is that now? That's Julian Okwara to me. This is Julian Okwara next season, right? He's there. Now, Jelani Tavai, he plays an interior. He plays, on the edge a few times. More likely the interior, but you see the Titans over here, so he's on the strong side. Ha! I know that because of Glover Quinn. Anyways, they got a lot of versatility, a lot of guys that can play a whole bunch of different things, and that's what's fun. Okay, so next one we have is this formation. Now, this is one of their 4 defensive lineman situations. They do this a few times. There's actually 2 different ways they do this. This is one as well. 2 different ways. You see here the 4D linemen, okay, and then they got 3 corners. So this was one of those sets where there was 4 wide receivers. So they went to 4D linemen. They had 1 linebacker in the middle. It was usually Jared Davis, but that could be Reggie Regla next season. I think it would be more Jamie Collins because Collins can rush like Jared Davis can, and he can help in coverage. That's why I think that's a huge upgrade as well. And then obviously your 2 safeties. And here you got to kind of get a similar thing. What the Lions will do is they'll kind of spread out the defensive lineman a little bit, leave a little bit of a gap over the center, and they'll kind of spread out the 4 defensive linemen. And this was Jared Davis. He would kind of step up right here, right? He would kind of like line up here. Now sometimes he would come, sometimes he would back off. You usually back off, he'd show and then he'd back off, and that's how that would go. And then you got a 4 down lineman, maybe Austin Bryant, Nick Williams, let's say Danny Shelton and Trey Flowers, your 4 down linemen. Then right here you have a safety, and this is where we start to talk about, Isaiah Simmons. This is why the hype was there. This is where you're talking about guys for us like Bobby Price. This is where you're talking about Jaron Kearse. Those big safeties that can kind of slide up almost as if they were in the box, right? Because that's, linebacker. They're like right here, and they're just kind of lurking. Then you got your cornerbacks, 3 wide receivers again. You got your 3 corners. You got a safety like this, your free safety basically. Depends. I think that'll be more Duron Harmon, but this could be, this could be Tracy Walker as well. This could be one of those guys that was last year, but now it could be Jaron Kearse. This is where I think Kearse's role could be right there. And then here's another one. Now this one's kind of weird. I just want to point this one out. I put S for safety, that way you know. But for example, the Redskins ran this kind of set one time where they had 5 offensive linemen, the 5 regular linemen, and 2 tight ends on the same side. So what the Lions did against that was they had their regular 4 down linemen. This would be their edge rusher, so this would be their Julian Okwara, or our Julian Okwara. And then they would have a safety right here slide up. Again, this is where you could see guys like Miles Killebrew get some action because he's basically a linebacker. Jaron Kearse, those guys can help in the tackling. They kind of slide up almost across from the tight end. And then you got your safety deep. You have basically a cornerback here. I think, who was it last time? It wasn't Nevin Lawson. I'm trying to think. You would have Justin Coleman. So you would have his cornerback out here. You got, your cornerback here. This could be like Okuda or Trufant or Amani, anybody like that. And you got 2 interior linebackers who last season was Jared Davis and Jelani Tavai. However, this is how I think it'll look next season. I think this spot right here, I think this is going to be a guy like Jelani Tavai. I'm just, it could be, otherwise the other player, which I think is going to be Jamie Collins. Those 2 can kind of flip. I think those will be your starters. All right, I think if you're saying 4 defensive linemen, I think you see Trey Flowers out here. I think Nick Williams possibly. Danny Shelton starts here. Maybe one of these 2, Danny Shelton. And then I think you get your guys like Austin Bryant, Romeo Okwara, those kind of players. Here's Julian Okwara for me. It depends. These guys are going to change up a lot. Duron Harmon, Tracy Walker, and then obviously Trufant and Okuda, those kind of players. So the Lions are deep, and they have so many players that can play different spots, and that's what's exciting, for this situation. Starters, Danny Shelton, Trey Flowers, Nick Williams. Boom, there's your 3. Then here, last year you had Jelani Tavai sometimes would step up in this role. There was someone else that would also play in this role. Oh, Romeo Okwara. So it could be Romeo and Julian because they did this, right? This was actually versus the Redskins, if I can find it. Hold up, let me skip around real quick. So you can see 3 down linemen, A'Shawn Snacks, and I think that was Atkins. I'm not sure. But then you have Romeo Okwara and you have Devon Kennard, right? So next year it could be, Romeo Okwara, Julian Okwara, your 3 linemen, which I went through, Jelani Tavai, Jamie Collins, Tracy Walker or Duron Harmon, depending on where the tight end is, and then your 2 corners. The Lions have so much versatility. This is why I'm so hyped for next season because they have a lot of ability to play different positions. That's why a lot of players can fit in this defense, but they also like players that can play different spots, and they want players that are long and lengthy. That way they can, they can move around and do different things. So the Lions, I'm excited for next year because they have a lot of guys. They have a mix of veterans and they have a mix of young guys that are exciting to see, which we haven't got to see a lot from. So that's kind of just a quick little overview. I think what we're looking like. If you guys want to see anything based off of this, let me know in the comments below. But until then, thank you for watching.